Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us here.
It is hump day. It's Wednesday, March 8th, and it's a good thing it's hump day because there's not a lot of going on.
No, very
I don't know,
quiet.
the weather's not all that bad. The traffic is pretty good today.
And I can't believe spring break is almost here.
You know what? I bet the kids in class are sitting there going, God, I can't wait.
Yes.
I don't want to be here today because spring break's coming up on Monday, and, you know, they're just sitting there, they're daydreaming. They're not even paying attention in class.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
The beach
Let's
sounds
study hard.
nice.
There's always that one kid in the back, though. You know, he's always paying attention.
Why do I feel like that was you, David?
Oh, it's not me.
It was not. Okay.
Oh, no. I was the one daydreaming.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Yeah, it's one of those days. And it feels like, you know, spring break's almost here because just the way the weather feels. The sun is already popping out, so we know it's going to be a hot day today. Let's look at the numbers right now. We're at 71 at the airport already, so it's warming up quickly. 67 up there in Kerrville, 67 out in Uvalde. So warm. Most of the clouds, again, have kind of already cleared out. So this is an early departure for those morning clouds. That should get us up to about 85 this afternoon. Southeasterly winds will be anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour. So that's still bringing in some moisture. It's still going to be humid. Here's a couple things we're watching. It's an interesting forecast in the sense that we're going to have a front that's going to try to make it closer to San Antonio in the coming days. So it'll be a close call whether or not that front makes it here. I think it does on Friday. The question is, what does it do for us? Does it bring us any rain? Does it cool us down? Maybe, but all of that is not set in stone. And again, rain, well, it's looking a little less promising, which is very frustrating. I know, I'm right there with you. We're going to talk more about it. Plus, we're going to get you an update on the allergens because Oak has jumped up today. We're going to have the latest on that here in just a few minutes. But let's go over to Stephen now with what I hope has been a quiet morning commute.
Yeah, I've been daydreaming over here. I'm just kidding. Paying very close attention to you guys. And you know what? We want you to pay very close attention out on the roadways because although things seem to be quiet right now, we still have a few slowdowns out there. 410 at Villamain was a site of a pretty big crash that lingered around for a little while, but that's cleared out. And now we're really seeing some slowdowns that are still being caught on here on the TransGuide camera. 35 at Nogalitos. 10 at Crossroads doesn't look too bad, but I just checked with TxDOT. Doesn't seem like any major issues are being reported, at least for right now. But we take you to our metropolitan area, and the wide view of the map just shows plenty of those slowdowns still taking place. You can see a little bit up right there at 410 if you're heading east toward Fredericksburg or Bandera, as well as 35 south if you're traveling in from Live Oak, and that's always expected. But don't forget, we have a lot of that active construction still taking place in our area, so scan the QR code. It's there on your screen, and that takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page. We have a full list of all the current closures that are taking place in our area, so always good to know before you go. David, Tiff.
Thanks, Stephen.
Here's today's 9 at 9.
Mexican authorities say they've made at least one arrest after 4 Americans were kidnapped in Mexico. 2 of the victims are now back in the U.S. The others were found dead. The group had gone to Mexico for cosmetic surgery, but were mistaken by gunmen who targeted the vehicle they were in because they thought the group was rival human traffickers.
Bipartisan outrage at Fox News host Tucker Carlson after he claimed surveillance video from the January 6th Capitol attack, quote, proves the riot was mostly peaceful chaos. Fox News showed the new video given to Carlson by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Many Republicans are also slamming the report, accusing Carlson of deceiving his audience.
New warnings from the head of the Fed about the possibility of more interest rate hikes. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell told a Senate committee that rates may need to go up more than previously thought in order to cool off inflation. That sent the Dow down nearly 600 points by the closing bell, off 1.7%. The S&P closed down 1.5%, and the Nasdaq lost 1.2%.
The NTSB investigating Norfolk Southern after a handful of incidents, including 2 train derailments in Ohio that happened just weeks apart. The board will examine the company's safety culture. While the government investigation will take some time, the NTSB requested that the railway take immediate action to review and assess its safety practices.
A wider range of chemicals have been discovered in the contaminated waterways near the site of the Ohio train derailment in East Palestine. Researchers from Purdue University say they identified more contaminants than reported by the state's EPA. including one chemical that's a byproduct of burning that can cause coughing and shortness of breath.
The number of U.S. infants who died from opioid overdoses is on the rise, according to a new study. 731 children under the age of 5 died of a drug-related death from 2005 through 2018. Some of the deaths came from the use of over-the-counter medications. More than 40% of the deaths were accidental overdoses.
More potential trouble for TikTok in Washington. A bipartisan group of senators have introduced a bill that could put restrictions on the Chinese-owned app amid concerns that data on Americans is being shared with the Chinese government. TikTok CEO is scheduled to testify at a House Energy and Commerce Committee later this month.
The U.S. planning to relax COVID-19 testing restrictions for travelers from China, a move that could happen as soon as Friday. It's due to a decline in COVID cases, hospitalizations, and deaths, and more data surrounding the variants that were circulating in China.
Today is International Women's Day. It's a day to celebrate the achievements of women and support action against gender inequality. March is also National Women's History Month, so you can keep celebrating all month long. And that's today's 9 at 9.
In your morning headlines, terrifying moments at a school bus stop after 2 children nearly run over when a car crashes into a Houston coffee shop. It's all caught on camera.
Plus, an NFL wide receiver makes the play of his life after saving a man from a burning car in Austin. RJ Marquez joins us with those stories and much more. Good morning, RJ.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
This
a lot of
bus
interesting on-cam
video
stuff.
is
Yeah,
scary.
that is very scary stuff. Also, the Houston video there, that one was also caught on camera. And also, we mentioned this NFL wide receiver. He's a Minnesota Viking, so props to him, a big Vikings
There you
fan.
go.
Yeah, shout out to him. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But, guys, I want to start here first. So it's been a little while since we discuss the Gabby Petito case. Of course, that made national headlines a few years back. And now the mother of Brian Laundrie, this is the man who confessed to Gabby's death, says a controversial letters that she wrote to her son has been taken out of context. So back in February, Gabby Petito's parents filed a motion requesting the letter that she wrote that referenced bringing a shovel to help bury a body. Roberta Laundrie says the letter to her son that said, quote, burn after reading, was meant to show how much that she loved him. Brian Laundrie's mother claims that the letter was written before the trip during which her son confessed to being involved in Gabby's death. Now, of course, Brian Laundrie later took his own life and his remains were found months later in October of 2021. The Petito family is suing the Laundrie family here, and this case returns to a Florida courtroom on May 24th. Okay, David, we were talking about this here. Now to this terrifying moment in North Carolina where you could see we have a speeding car that came just feet and seconds away. Look at that. That is unbelievable right there from hitting those 2 children at a bus stop. This is unbelievable. So the school bus driver can be heard in the camera from the bus screaming after police say that the car just ignored all the bus stop signs and flashing lights. And of course, just missing those crossing kids. I mean, this is maybe a millisecond away from hitting that second kid right there. So thankfully, those children escaped without being seriously hurt. Now, county officials identified the vehicle and arrested the driver in this case. They said that his license had been revoked and he is now facing multiple charges. Okay, now to another scary moment for 2 men. Look at this behind me right here. They were recording a podcast at a coffee shop in Houston. You just saw right there, this car slammed right into the building next to them, or right next to them that they were in. In fact, Alexi Reyes and Nathan Reeves were recording their podcast over the weekend inside this cafe when you can see right there, caught on camera, the unimaginable happened. An SUV was seen right there, losing control, swerving, hitting the glass of the side of the building. Now, you saw one of them right there. That was Nathan. He fell to the ground seconds after the SUV slammed into the window, so they were still in shock, but they got up to leave the table, and you saw one of them right there. He actually came back on camera to say that they were doing okay.
I was freaking out, and I turned to everybody in the cafe, and I'm like,
yeah, everyone,
I got that all on film.
Everyone got like a front row seat.
Yeah.
And everyone was like facing us. There was no one else at the table with us.
Yeah.
So they all kind of just saw what happened.
All right, some scary stuff there. So the manager of the cafe says that no one was hurt and the restaurant actually stayed open, and it's unclear if the driver of the SUV will face any charges for what led up to this incident. So thankfully those two young guys are okay. I'm sure their podcast is getting a lot of love now. All right, moving on here. This is NFL wide receiver. You see him right here, KJ Osborne. He's being called a hero this morning for not something that he did on the field, but for helping save a person who was trapped inside a burning car in Austin. So the Minnesota Vikings wide receiver was riding in an Uber when he spotted the accident on Sunday night. You can see some of the photos right here. That's when the Uber driver, KJ, and two others, Good Samaritans here, pulled the man out of his car and carried him to safety. So they waited with this individual until help arrived. Now, KJ said that he and the three people who helped save him plan to visit this man at the hospital.
We all ran down. I picked him up and was able to carry him, 10, 15 yards away because, again, we didn't know if the car was going to blow up. I'm kind of actually excited to be able to find out who this guy was, just to be able to shake his hand. And
yeah, that should be a pretty cool moment right there. So we saw those photos earlier. Osborne later posted a photo on Twitter of himself and those other Good Samaritans who rescued this man. Osborne is training this offseason in Austin, getting ready for this upcoming NFL season.
Boy, will he have a story to tell when he gets back to training camp.
Definitely, yeah. As we said, play of
him.
his life right here, doing great things on the field and, of course, off of it.
And connecting with that family now forever.
Yeah, that's going to be a cool follow-up right there to be able, like he said, he wants to meet him, get to know him a little bit. And so he understands that this guy suffered minor injuries, but for the most part is okay. But,
and it's good they arrested that driver that just,
yeah,
how do you not see the stop signs on the
that
bus?
Was bad. Yeah, that was pretty rough.
What? How do you miss that?
Flashing lights, middle of the night, yeah.
Don't understand. But that guy got arrested, and that's good.
Thanks, guys.
9:09, 71 degrees.
Still ahead on GMSA at 9. The San Antonio Book Festival making a big announcement today. We'll share what that is and how you can get involved as they get ready for the 11th annual event.
But first, we are taking a look at some of the first-time nominees for this year's 95th Academy Awards. Coming up. Welcome back to the 95th Academy Awards, airing this Sunday right here in KSAT 12. And this year, a lot of firsts.
16 of the 20 actors are up for awards for the first-time nominees, including some actors who have been on the big screen for years.
ABC's Rena Roy tells us about some of the first-time nominees and how one of them is making the Academy have a new conversation about their guidelines.
Snagging an Oscar nomination is no doubt one of the highest honors in Hollywood. And for 16 out of the 20 acting nominees this year, it's an extra special milestone moment because it's their first Oscar nod. A-lister Jamie Lee Curtis got her first break back in 1978, and now more than 4 decades later, up for her first Academy Award in the Best Supporting Actress category for her role in the hit movie Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I was just hoping that you could explain this. I've been an actress since I was 19 years old, and because I've been in the fringe genre films, it's not something I ever thought would happen.
Stephanie Hsu nominated alongside Curtis in the same category for the same film, describing the moment she heard the news.
And I was like, what's going on? And it was one of my friends, she was the first one who just said like, holy beep. And I think I kind of knew then.
And who could forget this breakout performance from Austin Butler as the rock and roll king himself in Elvis, earning the up-and-coming star a nomination in the Best Actor category.
I'm just so happy for everyone and really so honored to be here.
British actor Bill Nye up against Butler for Best Actor, his first nomination at 73 years old after an impressive 5-decade career.
That feels very, very good. I could get used to it. In England, a lot of people assume I have an Oscar already. Certainly several cab drivers. I get in a cab and they say, chuffed about the Oscar bill. And I don't want to explain that actually I don't have one.
But that could change come Sunday, and we could also see newcomer Andrea Riseborough take home a statue.
We were supposed to have a good life.
Her controversial Best Actress nomination for To Leslie comes after a grassroots campaign online started by her team with a long line of Hollywood A-listers. Some say it could have tipped the scale in her favor.
The fact that she sort of dropped from the sky and came out of nowhere certainly got a lot of people talking and led the Academy to have kind of a conversation about it.
Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
It's good to see that some of the seasoned actors are getting great recognition.
do you mean by seasoned, David?
Been around a while.
Yeah.
Well, lots of years of hard work.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you saw that weather. It's warm again, but it's kind of icky a little bit.
Well, a lot of humidity.
Yes.
And the sun's popped out early today, so that means temperatures are going to be warm this afternoon. And one thing I think a lot of people are noticing, the pollen, the oak pollen, it's kicking in. We are driving right into oak season. And today we have our first high reading at 560. Hackberry jumps up today too for whatever reason. It's at 130, so it's the trees that are giving a lot of people fits here. Mold, mulberry, and ash also on the list. So I want to give you that pollen count and just remind you, oak season typically peaks right around early April. So we're getting into it maybe a little bit early, but it's generally when we start to see oak starting to pop up. So we've got a couple months here where we're going to have to deal with the leaves and the catkins and the pollen and the green and yellowish situation. So just a heads up there. Satellite picture and radar shows we do have some thunderstorms up across North Texas this morning, just north of Abilene. Some lightning strikes showing up there with some of this activity. That's along a frontal boundary, which right now is stalled out. And you see the temperature difference. It's pretty impressive. 31 in Amarillo, 38 in Lubbock, but we've got 70s where we are. And the warmth stays in place. So this frontal boundary maybe tries to sink a little bit further south today, but probably doesn't move much. And that means that we stay on the warm side of things. A little closer look here, and you can see the difference. 71 here in San Antonio, 42 in Abilene. So there is some cold air. It just probably, or coolish air, but it won't make it here until Friday. We'll feel a little bit of it on Friday as the front finally gets a push. Dew points tell the story too. Very humid south of the front, much drier north of that boundary where they've got dew points in the 40s. So let's look at our forecast temperatures next couple days. Keeping in mind that front is just to our north. 84 New Braunfels this afternoon, 81 Fair Oaks Ranch, 85 here in San Antonio. Tonight, still warm and humid. And then tomorrow, we start off at 66. We're back up to 85 again. There probably will be some 90s on the map. So next couple days, still warm. As we look outside for you, there's not much cloud cover right now. 71. Dew point is at 65, and we've got an easterly wind at about 10 miles per hour. And the satellite picture shows we've kind of got a hole right over Bexar County, which is why the clouds aren't that thick at the moment. But still plenty of clouds down to the south and east. We've got some high clouds and then morning clouds on top of that out west. So it's quite a bit cloudier in places like Uvalde and Eagle Pass. And clouds may try to fill in a little bit later this morning here in San Antonio. But still, with the sun already out, I do think it'll be a pretty warm day. So here's a look at the forecast with regards to rain. I think as we get into tomorrow morning, we get some clouds, maybe some drizzle. And then by the afternoon, we break out into partly cloudy skies. Still no significant rainfall. But as that front, and we mentioned it finally does start to make a push towards our area on Friday, move south, we could start to see some isolated showers and storms late Thursday. I think mainly north of San Antonio, not necessarily here. And as that front drops south, can't rule out a shower with this, but I just don't think we're going to see much, unfortunately. And then on Friday, as the front pushes through, we get a brief break from the heat and humidity. And I mean brief because I think on Saturday, the heat and the moisture come right back and temperatures warm up again. So we've got a couple of fronts to talk about really in the extended forecast. Our first one on Friday drops temperatures into the 70s. That's still actually above average. Saturday, we start to jump back up. Sunday will be a warm day, 87. And then here comes our second front that cools us down to start next week. Unfortunately, that second front does not bring much in the way of rain chances either. So that's not a great situation. 79, as I said, Saturday, 87 Sunday with the front. And then Monday and Tuesday, we're in the low 70s. Mornings are back in the 50s and 40s. So to start spring break, it's a little cooler. It doesn't mean it'll end it that way, but that's the way it's looking right now to start Monday and Tuesday. Next week, it does cool down some thanks to that front.
That looks nice. All right.
Not bad. Not bad. Not great beach weather, but it works.
Yeah. Thanks, Justin.
920, 72 degrees.
South by Southwest kicks off this weekend, and a local ALS patient and advocate will be in an important film screening there. Courtney Freeman got to speak with him, and he shares what the film gives viewers a glimpse of. Welcome back. A local ALS patient and advocate will be in an important film this week at South by Southwest.
The documentary about the creation of the IMALS nonprofit is already turning heads nationwide, thanks in part to some pretty big names.
Courtney Friedman tells us how the film captures a turning point in the history of ALS advocacy.
This is Juan Reyes, a face you've seen many times on KSAT. He's an ALS patient who travels nationwide advocating for the ALS community. This Sunday at South by Southwest, he'll appear in a film about the creation of an already life-changing nonprofit, I Am ALS.
I'm in the film a few times where I'm sharing some of my thoughts about ALS and I Am ALS as an organization.
ALS patient Brian Wallach and his wife Sandra Abrevaya founded the organization, which in just 3 years has helped fund crucial research and lobbied to change laws.
It really is a glimpse at the power that individuals, that a small group of people can make a huge impact.
Adding some star power to the film were executive producers Katie Couric and Phil Rosenthal. Reyes got to meet both.
Katie Couric is just a ball of fire, full of energy, and Phil is just as approachable and friendly as he comes across on his show.
He believes with so much support, ALS will be cured, if not for his generation, then the next. That positivity landed him some big news last week, that he was accepted as the newest board member to the I Am ALS Foundation.
That they literally have changed the world of ALS.
And so has Reyes. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
South by Southwest begins Friday in Austin, and we'll have a crew headed that way here in the next couple of days.
RJ Marquez will be giving us all the highlights from local artists participating in the conference next week. You can follow along with his live streams by subscribing to the KSAT YouTube channel.
It is now 9:25 and 72 degrees.
Still more ahead on GMSA at 9, including why the San Antonio Book Festival says it's important to help your children get excited about reading.
And before that, a follow-up to the deadly dog attack nearly 2 weeks ago. We look into the over 100 phone calls to police in that area and why the councilwoman of that district said neighbors' concerns never made it to her office. Over 100 calls and complaints to police on the home where a deadly dog attack happened, a home where dog owners Christian Moreno and Abilene Schneider lived for 2 years.
Nearly 2 weeks after that deadly dog attack on Deplis Street, neighbors tell us they had reached out to their councilwoman with their concerns but never heard back anything.
As Erica Hernandez tells us, those concerns allegedly never reached the city hall.
In a 2-year span, 112 calls were made to police concerning a home on Deplis Street. That home is where Christian Moreno and Abilene Schneider lived. The two now facing charges for the February 24th dog attack that killed 81-year-old Ramon Nájera and injured 3 others. Neighbors telling KSAT last week that the neighborhood was peaceful until the two moved in.
It's been a nightmare living here with them, you know.
The range of calls made to police include numerous types of disturbance calls, shots fired, a call involving Child Protective Services, and 2 calls made that were animal related. One neighbor even showing us this letter they sent to San Antonio District 5 Councilwoman Terry Castillo. In it, complaints about nothing being done and stating, quote, "To us in the neighborhood, we are fearful of our lives and concerned about our safety." We asked Castillo, and she says she never received the letter.
We asked the constituent around what time frame that it was delivered. She did not recall, and then I asked if there was a follow-up email or phone call, and there was not.
Castillo did go on to say that she is now in communication with neighbors. As far as Christian Moreno and Abilene Schneider, they are still in the Bexar County Jail awaiting indictment. Each are facing a charge of injury to elderly and dangerous dog attack resulting in death. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Here is a sampling of the calls to police. The list is long and includes 3 calls for illegal narcotics, 14 calls for someone shooting off fireworks on the property, 21 calls for loud music, 2 for shots fired, and 4 disturbance calls where a gun was involved.
There were also 3 calls for traffic issues, 2 for a suspicious person, 5 to tell police that a wanted person was there, and 1 call with concern for a child in the home. Once again, of the 112 complaint calls, only 2 were animal related.
Switching now to the economy, it's about to get more expensive to borrow cash.
That's because the Federal Reserve is promising steeper interest rate hikes.
And as ABC's Liz Nagy reports, one senator is especially not happy about it.
Verbal fireworks on Capitol Hill as Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell faced off with Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Chair Powell, you are gambling with people's lives.
Powell said the central bank is now prepared to raise interest rates higher and more frequently than expected as it tries to get inflation under control, even if that means job losses.
The process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go and is likely to be bumpy.
Warren argues there are other ways to fight inflation, like addressing supply chain issues and cracking down on price gouging. She says under the Fed's plan, millions of Americans will lose jobs.
If you could speak directly to the 2 million hardworking people who have decent jobs today, who you're planning to get fired over the next year, what would you say to them?
Inflation is extremely high, and it's hurting the working people of this country badly. All of them, not just 2 million of them, but all of them are suffering under high inflation, and we are taking the only measures we have to bring inflation down.
Senator Warren also argued the Fed's moves could trigger a recession.
Since the end of World War II, there have been 12 times in which the unemployment rate has increased by 1 percentage point within 1 year. Exactly what you're aiming to do right now. How many times did the economy fail to fall into a recession after doing that? Out of 12 times.
I think the number is 0.
That's exactly right.
Chairman Powell noted even if the unemployment rate were to rise a full point, it would still be among the lowest unemployment rates in 75 years. Liz Nagy, ABC News, New York.
Outside with live cam, just getting warmer and more humid. We're getting to the point where you walk outside and you really start to feel it. Maybe a little sweat here and there, you know.
The air's thick. It's thick.
It is.
Yeah, the Gulf moisture's back. Now, the problem we have is that we need that moisture to turn into rain. That's been the problem we've had for the better part of 2 years now. Just not happening. There are some small chances in the forecast. But in the meantime, we're going to focus on a positive. Beautiful wildflowers. First, bluebonnet in the yard. Great photo. Loving it. I'm seeing them popping up everywhere, by the way. So this is great picture time if you do want to go out and snap some pictures in the bluebonnets. We appreciate the picture, by the way. Thank you very much. And let's look at the city of San Antonio as far as cloud cover is concerned. We've got a few clouds here and there, but as I said earlier, it's kind of been a hole over San Antonio where we're seeing quite a bit of sun, which is boosting temperatures around us. There's a bit more cloud cover. So you see the blue skies at the moment, 71. Dew point is at 65. We've got an easterly wind at about 10 miles per hour in our KSAT 12-hour forecast. 78 noontime. We'll take it all the way up to 85 this afternoon. May even feel a little bit warmer than that when you factor in the humidity. Partly cloudy skies and a good southeasterly wind. What changes? We do get some cooler weather, at least briefly, coming in on Friday. Maybe a few showers with that as well. We'll take another look at that forecast for you here in just a couple minutes.
Thanks, Justin. Some people may sometimes feel like the Oscars are so Hollywood, and that is a bunch of rich people celebrating rich people. But some of this year's nominees are proving that wrong.
As ABC's Will Gans tells us, they are a reminder of why it's important to keep going on the face of seemingly impossible adversity.
He's the 30-year-old Irish actor collecting the hardware this award season for his work in The Banshees of Inisherin.
Barry Keoghan!
But Barry Keoghan's road to the red carpet has been a long one. As a child, Barry and his brother lived in 13 different foster homes over the span of 7 years.
I mean, as a kid, you don't know what's happening. It's only when you get older you can look back and get a bit of perspective on it.
Barry's mother passed away when he was just 12 years old.
If that was on paper, you kind of go, he's destined to mess up, you know? Yeah. But I went against it.
And now, after winning a BAFTA...
For the kids that are dreaming to be something from the area that I came from, this is for you. So.
And now, he's an Oscar nominee. Reacting to the news on Instagram, writing in part, and just a note to little Barry, told you we would get there. And then there's Hong Chow, nominated for her work in The Whale.
Everybody would say, wow, you've lived such an amazing life. And I say, no, my parents have lived an amazing life.
Hong's parents fled Vietnam in 1979. Her mother, pregnant with her. Her father, shot during the escape, but making it to a refugee camp in Thailand, where Hong was born.
I'm just an actor in Hollywood, like, like Big Whoop. I mean, what they did is really amazing. My parents are very resilient people. I think you need a lot of that in this industry.
And of course, Ki Huy Kwan, who found the spotlight at age 12 in Indiana Jones.
Wow, holy smokes!
And in The Goonies a year later.
Slick shoes!
Then struggled to find work as an adult.
For so many years, I was afraid that I had nothing more to offer. That no matter what I did, I would never surpass what I achieved as a kid.
But now with so many wins under his belt, it's his journey back to the big screen that proves this underdog story is one to watch on Oscar Sunday.
To all those at home who are watching, who are struggling and waiting to be seen, please keep on going because the spotlight will one day find you.
Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
And you can watch the Oscars Sunday night at 7 p.m. right here on KSAT, followed by the Night Beat.
It is 9:38. We're hanging in there at 73 humid degrees.
You're watching GMSA at 9, and coming up after the break, a look at the new event the San Antonio Book Festival is having this year as they look to bring back some fan favorite competitions.
The San Antonio Book Festival releasing their author lineup this morning as they prepare for their event coming up next month.
Sarah Costa explains the importance of the book festival for our community and the new events they are hosting this year.
San Antonio Book Festival is basically a book party come to life.
Book lovers rejoice. The 11th annual San Antonio Book Festival is looking to bring thousands of new and old book lovers together. This year, the festival is bringing in 100 local, state, and national authors for a free, family-friendly event. Executive Director for the San Antonio Book Festival, Lily Gonzalez, says the goal of the festival is unity.
The purpose of the festival is essentially to unite readers and writers. Reading and writing can both be solitary events, so it takes something like a festival to bring these groups together.
San Antonians can expect a day full of author presentations, panel discussions, book sales, signings, and more. Everyone is welcome to join, especially children. Organizers with the book festival hope their event will get kids excited about reading.
In a city with a devastating illiteracy rate, it's also important that we make sure that kids get excited about reading, and that's what the book festival does. We put authors, dynamic authors who love to tell stories, and we get kids excited to read books.
Something new happening this year is a pre-event to the book festival called Lit Happens. The event is being described as a block party for adults who love books.
There will be writers doing really fun events, things like Worth Repeating. We're bringing back Literary Deathmatch, a poetry kickoff. I think it's safe to say that this event, while the festival is family friendly and for all ages, this event is definitely 21 and up.
Organizers say everyone should experience the book festival, whether you read multiple books a year or none at all.
San Antonio is a city of many festivals. We love to celebrate, and I think it's important that we celebrate literature and that we celebrate each other's stories. So it's important that San Antonio has a book festival because that means that we care about each other's stories.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
Always good to see the kids picking up a book instead of one of those electronic devices. The book festival will take place April 15th at the Central Library and the UTSA Southwest campus.
To see the full lineup for the festival and to learn more about Lit Happens and the book festival, head to our website, ksat.com. And it's always a good day to go to the library, too, to get a book there.
There you go.
Yeah, I miss the library sometimes. The Dewey Decimal System, the drawers. It's the good old days.
You're going to have to explain that one now.
The card catalogs, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah. It's always in the front of the library. You go up there and pull out the little drawer.
Yeah.
I think what's really cool right now, you just scan your book and check out.
Yeah,
it's all digital now.
Just check out.
That's cool.
Do you have a library card?
I do.
Yeah.
And I go.
You have to. Yeah.
How about you, David?
I don't have a library card.
Oh, man.
Not anymore.
Well, we need to go to the library. We'll get you a library card.
That's the place to be.
Yes,
they got
it
some
is.
cool stuff going on.
They
There's
do.
no doubt about it. I want to show you guys another picture on our KSAT Connect. I love the picture on this.
How cute.
The teeth, the smile, I should say. I love that. That's Molly. She is deep in the bluebonnets there. We appreciate that picture once again. We've gotten so many good ones here of the bluebonnets, and the pictures just keep getting better and better. Great shot. Thank you again. And you can always send those in. KSAT weather app, KSAT app. There's a link to the KSAT Connect where you can submit these pictures. All right, let's go outside for you. Starting to see a bit more cloud cover than we saw earlier. So the clouds are kind of filling in a little bit. Still enough sun, though, to where temperatures are plenty warm. 71 at the airport, 73 Stinson, 73 Kelly, 70 at Randolph. Easterly winds anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour. 69 Kerrville, 73 New Braunfels, 74 Gonzales, 74 in Pleasanton. And then I mentioned we have that stationary boundary just to our north. It's kind of stuck here. It's not moving. So you go north of that, it's quite a bit colder. 46 in Midland, 42 in Abilene. That cold air is kind of bottled up across North Texas for right now. Does not make a push for us yet. I do think it'll get a little bit closer to us on Friday and bring us a slight brief cool down, not a big one. We're not going to see these numbers, but cooler than what we're seeing right now. 31 in Amarillo, 38 in Lubbock, so it is chilly up there. And there are some showers and storms just behind that front. Seen a few lightning strikes there north of Abilene, right around the Dallas area. Seeing some pretty good storms. Those are all moving north and east. I wish we could have a little bit of a busier radar. That would be nice because we need some of the rain around here, but it's probably not in the cards. As this front moves through on Friday, there is a small chance of rain, but not a good chance. Forecast for today, 78 noontime, and we'll be up around 85 this afternoon. We're just going to keep it partly cloudy most of the day. Southeasterly winds 5 to 15, and then the clouds will build back in tonight, and we'll start with mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. So there are the clouds building back in. Probably a cloudy start tomorrow morning, then we'll fast forward to tomorrow afternoon. Partly cloudy, not a lot going on. But I mentioned that front tries to make a run for South Texas as we get into Friday. So we'll start to add in some small rain chances late on Thursday. This is 10 o'clock. And notice at the top of your screen there, you see a couple showers and storms, probably staying to our north, but that's along that front. And as it drops south, it's conceivable we could see a couple more pop-up showers, but we're going to leave the rain chance at 20. It's not good. And then the front comes through, and we get some slightly cooler weather by midday Friday and into Friday afternoon. And then by Saturday, the warm moist air pushes right back in, and we're back in the warmth. Here's a little bit of good news. We got to find some positivity here in the forecast when it comes to lack of rainfall. And this is the 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. And they're looking at March 16th through March 22nd. What these colors represent, where you see these light greens, is the fact that they believe it'll be a little bit above average when it comes to rainfall across Texas and out west. That would be great as we get into late March. If we could up the rain chances a little bit, that's what we'd like to see. So that's something to look forward to. We'll see if that's the way it pans out, but that's kind of the idea right now. So 85 tomorrow, 74 on Friday. We're going to go with a 20% chance of rain late Thursday, early Friday. 79 Saturday, 87 Sunday, probably our warmest day. Then we get another front on Sunday. This one does move through, and it cools us down. This doesn't bring rain either, but cools us down into the 70s Monday and Tuesday. So it'll be kind of a coolish start to spring break. Probably won't end up that way later in the week, but the first half of the week, right about average, and the mornings will be chilly.
Okay, we'll take that.
That's about perfect for spring break, though. You don't need to be too hot.
Well, it depends on what you're doing.
Right.
If you want to go to the beach or go swimming or whatever.
You think the kids are going to stay out of the water at the beach because it's 75 degrees?
Probably not.
Right.
That's a good point.
Good point.
Just take your sunscreen. It's 9:49 and 73.
When we come back, a look at a new comedy coming out on Friday starring Woody Harrelson.
More than 30 years after White Men Can't Jump, Woody Harrelson is back with another basketball comedy that comes out this weekend.
CNN's David Daniel gives us a preview of the funny and heartwarming movie and explains how some of the actors in the movie got their parts.
I just tried to get them really to play a version of themselves, and they know how to play themselves, so that was the main thing.
One player with acting experience was Kevin Iannucci.
I'm Johnny. I'm your homie with an extra chromie.
We threw him into a lot of scenes with really good actors in dramatic scenes, and he held his own every single time.
Harrelson recommended Farrelly for the job.
I don't know how anyone else could have done this movie. Everything he had to accomplish just in terms of the massive workload on a daily basis.
They have cameras rolling, and there's going to be some basketball, and there's going to be some dialogue, and you never know if the shots are going to go in. Sometimes they're not supposed to. You never know.
That looks like a fun one. Hey, a little sports news before we go. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott is signed through the 2024 season. He's guaranteed $31 million for the upcoming season, expected to restructure his deal to lower his $49 million cap hit to help the team bring in some more talent. Dak signed a 4-year, $160 million deal in March of 2021. And before his current contract expires, the Cowboys would like to sign him to another contract extension. Yesterday, while at a luncheon in Dallas, Dak was asked about that extension.
To be a Dallas Cowboy, as I said, always dreamed to be here. Now that I'm here, I don't expect to play for any other team. And now it's just about winning. So just trying to get that done. And just to hear, obviously, as you say in the front office, looking forward to an extension. So when that time comes, it'll happen. Kind of with Steven on it, may just happen overnight. But when it happens, it'll be great.
And it is official. The Cowboys use their franchise tag on running back Tony Pollard, one of 6 NFL teams to tag a player already. So they need to keep Tony Pollard. And hopefully Dak is working on his accuracy this summer.
Well, they said they're going to go out and get some more talent, right? So who should they get?
Well, they need some defense, need some offense, need some special teams.
The list is long. Okay. Wow. All right. We're going to be up around 78 by noontime. We're at 73 right now. It's already starting to warm up. 80 degrees by 1 o'clock. We should top out close to 85 this afternoon. Partly cloudy, southeasterly winds, 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then we'll drop back down into the 70s tonight. Extended forecast. We'll see those numbers stay right where they are next couple days and then cool down some on Friday with a frontal boundary. Back up to 79 Saturday, back up to 87 Sunday before we fall again Monday and Tuesday. So a couple fronts there to kind of keep you on your toes this week. And I'll tell you what I'm getting excited about.
What's that?
March Madness.
Yes, and you have a fun Instagram post you're working on.
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of get a poll of where everyone went to school around here so we can see where the allegiances are.
They entered the NFL teams, introduced themselves.
We all know about Texas Tech over here.
Yeah. Ought to be fun. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
See you at noon.